So greetings everyone from South Africa, just on about 9:30 now in the evening. So I'm looking forward to getting stuck in. First of all, amazing presentations before me. I have sat through each and every single one of them and love them, and so excited for what's coming next. I'm going to push out my bedtime to watch them. So what I want to talk about today, and before I actually get started, I want to share my favorite piece of swag that I've ever got. This has about 8 cups of tea in it every single day. So shout out to Shannon and Higher Easy for my mug. I want to talk about today AI because it's on everyone's radar and it was really something that we got to get better at using. So without any further ado, let me jump in. Excellent. So I'm not going to say anything about me. Scan that if you want to know anything about me, and I'm happy to answer questions online too. So guys, I want to talk about AI because everyone's using AI, but there seems to be a lot of confusion about how we are using AI. So I want to talk about how you are using your LLMs in your recruitment processes, because I'm so sick and tired of hearing from people that, ChatGPT this or Gemini this or Claude this, and it really is frustrating because they are amazing tools. They can help us free up so much time to do admin, but if we don't put in decent prompts, the problem is that we're not going to get great results. So can anyone who's here in the chat tell me, did you get into recruitment for your amazing love of admin? No, of course you didn't, okay? You got into recruitment for your love of people, right? So let's use AI to help us with the admin so we can spend more time with people, right? So I want to introduce you to this quick and easy 5-step prompt framework, okay? This really works incredibly well, and I want to talk you through how you can use this in any step of your recruitment process, no matter what problem you're trying to solve, because one thing I'm discovering as an AI consultant is that everyone has got a different problem that they're trying to solve with either AI or automation. So just briefly, we're going to go through a couple of examples here. So first of all, when we talk about assigning a persona, my favorite one is, and it works for me all the time, you're a sarcastic recruitment coach who doesn't do GPT jargon. Always set the scene when you are talking to these LLMs. Now, one piece of advice that I want to give you here is that if you think in your head when you're talking to an LLM, and it's a bit weird, that you're talking to a human being and you have to give it loads of context, that's where you're going to get the best results. So when you describe something, instead of just saying write a job ad, there's not enough context there. A junior member of your team could do anything with that. Say, write a short punchy job ad for LinkedIn aimed at mid-level software engineers in Brazil. Okay, that is what we want to see. Then you've really got to break down the steps, like really baby steps. Number them, okay? Tell the LLM exactly what you're looking for. And then you've got to set constraints because, oh my word, can LLMs go on and on and on, and some more than others. But seriously, like avoid buzzwords, keep it under 150 words, match my LinkedIn writing style. All of these things are really important. And then finally, what do you want the result to look like? Is it a LinkedIn post? Is it a table? Is it an email? So expanding and giving more context on what you're trying to achieve is the best way forward. So the one thing that is also a very key differentiator here is when you finish all of that information, I'm going to show you a real life example now, is to say, ask any questions you may have before you start to make sure you fully understand what you're required to do, because there's no point in getting frustrated with a really bad result if you didn't give the context up front. Remember, when you are prompting, I want you to think about what you are trying to achieve and think that you are talking to a junior member of your team who needs lots of guidance and assistance, because at this stage, they still do. So let's jump into a little bit of a real life example here. So this was one that I put together for a client of mine recently in the US. They were looking for bridge engineers out of New York, and it was really interesting. And as you can see, this was a long prompt. I'm going to show you the next bits in here. So here we go, outline the steps to complete the task. Yes, Steve, you're right. No need to say please or thank you. But when the robots do take over one day, I want to be remembered as the polite user. So that's kind of why I still sometimes say it. Look how I've outlined these steps. You've got your numbers 1, 2, 3, 4 bullet points. So it knows exactly what you're trying to achieve. You're also going to set your constraints. You can see in the prompt that I'm going to go and run now, I've given an exact number of what I'm looking for. I always say, write me an email, but keep it under 200 words. No one's got time for more than that. And then also, what is your outlook going, your result, the results that you're looking for? What do you want it to look like? Even give it, the column headings. And the easiest way to do this is to use the voice. So let's go through this. I've quickly typed this out for us to make our lives easy. There we go. And what we're going to do is we are going to jump into the LLM that I use the most. And the reason for this is because it is the most diverse end to end. We are going to look at some others coming up, but we're going to start with OpenAI ChatGPT because 90% of people that I train are using this LLM. So I'm going to take the prompt. I'm going to pop it in. As you can see, it's quite a long prompt. And I read something recently that if your prompt is 10 words or less, you actually can't even expect a good result. So you've got to start remembering context when you're putting it in. So now there we go. I'm going to run it. And what we're going to see is it is actually going to take quite a bit of time because it's thinking. It's also late at night, so obviously everybody in the US is awake at this time, so everybody is using this. And what I want to do is I want to go into this chat over here, and I want to show you the results that I pulled up, because you can see with running this prompt with a lot more information. I ran it during Fink's presentation, but I was listening, Fink, trust me. It says here, it thought for 7 minutes and 2 seconds. Okay, so that's a long time. And here is my shortlist. And you can see all of the information here that I have, what I've asked it to put in. It's given me all of the information in the columns, which is great. And it's also given me source notes, which I asked for. It's also given me some Boolean strings that it used, because Boolean is definitely not dead. It is definitely a skill that I use every day, to be honest. How did it approach it? Something I can learn from, and how I could reuse the prompt. So lots and lots of information. So yes, I can absolutely give you the prompt. I have shared my slides with the guys at Hire Easy, and you are welcome to go and have a look. But I just want to show you how different it is when you put in a really awesome prompt, the results that you can get from this. And while we're here, I quickly want to touch on something, because this is another big error which I see people using on this platform. I want you to look on the bottom left-hand corner, and I want you to look at the personalization. And I want to show you something. What we've got here is we have got custom instructions. Now, a lot of people don't know that if you go and fill in your custom instructions, this is also relatively new. Your base style and tone, you can put it in. You can tell it a little bit about yourself, more about what you do, and make sure your memory is switched on. And the reason for that is that you want the memory to be remembering one conversation to a next. That is really important. So what I want to do now is I quickly want to go and jump into a few other LLMs, because what I'm finding with the teams that I'm training is we have got people that are just getting stuck into OpenAI and not leaving. It was kind of like we all go to Google as a search engine. I'm sure Ronnie's on the call somewhere. He will tell you there's loads of other search engines out there. So I want to talk to you about another prompt, and this one I've actually used TextFlare to start to put in the prompt, because, as you know, a longer prompt gives a better result. And this one over here is, you're my digital PA helping me with a quick, practical recruitment guidance. So I'm going to give it a recruitment topic. I want a short explanation. I want here are the rules that I want, because it's like a child, give it rules. They work better. And my first topic is how to use generative AI better in the tech recruiting process. Now, I'm going to run this prompt across different LLMs because I want to show you the value of doing this exercise. So we're starting with Copilot. Now, Copilot's great if you're in a Microsoft environment, not so great if you're not in a Microsoft environment, but I am trying to use it more and appreciate it more for what it is, okay? So let's run that prompt. The next one that we're going to have a look at is we're going to look at Grok from Cousin Elon. I'm just kidding. He's not a cousin, but I just want to say that he's a cousin in case anything happens, that, you know, he is quite loaded and, you know, South African, must be a cousin somewhere. So Grok is great. I want to show you the results over here that what Grok has given me for the bridge engineer, because it actually came up with one of the best results for a bridge engineer. Look at all of the information that it gave me, as well as giving me links to people's LinkedIn, contact details. So use Grok. It's fantastic. Grok for me is what I describe as the definitely not the head boy of the LLMs. It plays out of the lines. There's very few guardrails, which means from a sourcing perspective, we get names, we get contact details, we get LinkedIn profiles. Trust me on this one. Okay, so let's let it go back there. We're going to go to Claude. Claude, also enjoy Claude. Claude for me is great for generating content. I love working with it from that perspective. We have got DeepSeek. And just in case anyone's asking, I only pay for OpenAI. These are all the free versions of the others. They work perfectly fine for my purposes, and you are welcome to go and check them out yourself. When I'm finished, don't do it now because you're paying attention. Yeah. And there we go. I'm going to put into Perplexity. Perplexity is great. Perplexity is actually replacing Google for me and a lot of people at the moment. Gemini, also a big fan of, more of a fan of using Gemini to create images. I'm having great fun at the moment with Flow, Google Flow, VO3, absolutely amazing. So let's go and quickly have a look at the results over here. Okay, let me get a new chat in here. If everyone can just log off ChatGPT right now, that would be great, so it can do what I'm asking it to do. Okay, so it hasn't picked up my text blaze. Don't worry, we'll get it somewhere else. Okay, so let's go and start with Copilot, where we were looking at. I just want to grab this over here, and let's push it into ChatGPT so it can start working on that. And let's go back to Copilot. So here we go. Copilot has given me a very nice practical answer, a recruiter example, and the TLDR is AI equals speed plus clarity. Use it for job adverts, outreach, and screening questions. Okay, fantastic. Did exactly what I wanted. Now, all of these LLMs are expected to do exactly what I've wanted, but if you've been to Thailand, you'll know what I mean when I say same, but different. They're all going to come up with slightly different results. So if we look at the TLDR over here, it's a super fast junior recruiter who writes first drafts, always feed it your best work. Fantastic. Thank you very much, Grok. Claude, again, for me, it just explains things so beautifully, so succinct. It's told me exactly in the TLDR, use AI for drafting JDs, creating interview questions, and personalizing outreach templates. What a great idea. Okay. Grok, here we go. That was Grok's answer. DeepSeek. Okay, good. I like DeepSeek. I haven't found a great user case for it recently, but I must say that it has come up with some gems in the past. They have actually really strengthened their, should I say, their strictness. They used to give you a lot more information, but now they seem to be a little bit stricter on the data. Gemini, also really fantastic for giving me the results. I love the TLDR here. Don't just use AI to write, use it to translate technical jargon into search terms and screening questions. No one else has mentioned that. So as you can see, they all done the same thing, but slightly different. And you've got to decide which one do you like the best, which one best suits your purpose, and which one are you going to use in the future. So try that. Take one prompt, put it across as many LLMs as you can, and go for gold and see which one you prefer. So one thing that I really want to touch on over here as I close up, because I'm just getting a 5-minute warning here, is two things I want to share with you, is how you use generative AI. Please don't ever use it from 0% to 100%. That is disastrous. You can see straight away when you get an email from someone, you can read a blog that someone has used AI and there's no personal touch in it. So I really want you to think about, how do you use it to assist you, to augment what you do, not just do everything for you, because that's just lazy. So think about it. If I'm delivering a keynote, I get it to actually build a framework for me, and then we can debate it and we can decide how to move things around, and then I'll do the last 40%. Or else what I do is I do the work and I get it to analyze, like it's doing on my website at the moment. I get it to actually analyze what I have done and how it's going to actually, how it should look like in the end. Give me suggestions on how I can enhance this. So we've already looked at the different LLMs. I want to highlight this over here. This is my start.me page. I've really taken one for the team on this one. And basically by that, I mean, I've met with loads and loads of suppliers. Not everyone's as easy as Hire Easy, may I add with this. There's a lot of tools that I have to send back to the drawing room table and to, go work on what they're doing and why they're building the tool is the main one. But please, I put it in the link in the chat. QR code. If you are struggling and you're overwhelmed by AI tools and you don't know where to start, this is a fantastic starting point, and I know that it's helped a lot of recruiters in the past, so get stuck into it. Kind of like Erin's start.me page. So guys, in closing, it really is up to you. You are in control of your future and how that will play out. So this is something that is really important. AI is not a splash in the pan. We've had access to OpenAI for three years this month already. People are using it. I just love to see people using it more confidently, using it more effectively, and I'm here to help with that. So just give me a shout. Your attitude is really going to determine how well you use AI in the future. So pretty much, you need to start thinking about, why are you better than generative AI? And that is really an honest question. I want you to think about the answer, because ChatGPT can do a lot. It can do a lot when it comes to recruitment processes. And recruiters who don't like admin and just want to spend time with people are really, really into the fact that it does a lot of our jobs, but because it can, should it? That is the question that I ask you. So my advice, hashtag up your human. That is the way you are going to stay ahead in a world of AI. Really, really up your game. Be more personable, start posting more, start building communities, start being heard, and start being known. And there I am, looking a little bit disheveled about the fact that I'm going to run into Uncle Steve's time. So guys, it's been awesome. Thanks for voting for me to be here. I've really enjoyed it. And I look forward to seeing you all soon. Thanks, Dan.